land at it, and let me take
I love what Brian said. The worst thing you ever do in his life is to play cookie.
you know, he comes in and he's right there.
Unfortunately, we got the chemtrails here at the Jersey Shore too. Yep, I've been watching this plane all afternoon. It's been going in circles. It's got these two chemtrails over here. The whole sky is just got one over there. See? And I don't know if you can see the plane, but it's going straight up in the air. I mean, it's not on any flight path right now. It's a plane, a big trail behind it. And those are called chemtrails. My brother thinks I'm a total nut. That's probably another plane over there coming out. A year ago I would have thought I was a total nut too, but there's definitely something funny going on here. I don't remember skies like this over the Jersey Shore when I was a kid. See, you see a plane right there? I don't know where that plane's going, but I've seen something going back and forth, and it could be the same plane going back and forth there. But these skies, this is definitely not normal clouds. Look at that. I mean, that's dissipating chemical trails. And if you're interested in finding out more about this, I could send you the video, full-length movie, What in the World Are They Spraying? By Michael Murphy. And after watching that, I was definitely a believer in this stuff. But it's something that you wish you didn't know about. I sure wish I didn't know about it sometimes, but it's better to be aware, I guess. But I mean, how could this be normal, right? They're spraying all these things up in the sky, and there's, you know, many opinions about it and reasons, thoughts why they're doing it. But bottom line is, it's definitely not good. I mean, that's not regular clouds going straight up in the air. It's not contrails. Those definitely are different. So here comes another plane like that. See? Let's see what this guy's doing. They've been spraying the sky pretty good today. I noticed it yesterday as well, but I didn't want to believe it, so I kept quiet about it. But this is something that you know, whether we believe it or not, it's here, and it's a thing of it's a sign of the times. And I don't know, this could be a regular passenger jet. We won't know until we see a trail behind it. But right now you see there's nothing behind it, right? So that's normal for a passenger jet. But once you see the trail behind it, and then you see it dissipating like that, then there's definitely something going on. Behind us, it's like one straight line going across. You know, this is the perfect spot. Summertime, Jersey Shore, a lot of people around. You know, they just picked a good area to do it here. I just think that I should, you know, help spread the awareness about this, and people could believe it or not. I really don't care if people don't believe it, but I know I never believed it until I saw the documentary, and then I started seeing planes over Maui, you know, actually spraying stuff going straight up in the air, and that's not a regular flight pattern. So they were either filming a commercial for a jet or spraying something, and I don't think they were doing any commercials, so it was pretty disturbing to witness that. But see, they got all these planes flying all over. I don't know. There's not a real airport around here to speak of. We got quite a bit of activity. So, I mean, Jersey Shore in the summertime, there's tens of thousands of people here. You know, they probably don't waste their time here in the wintertime because the population is much less. So they can do this in other areas. But it's definitely something that's going on. You know, I'm 5,000 miles away from Maui right now, and it's going on there too. So unfortunately, it's not something that is just going to go away. You know, unless a lot of people get together and try to stop it. I know Ellie Cochran from the Maui County Council is assisting with the Maui Clean Air Act and trying to get the chemtrail spraying over Maui to stop. So, you know, it's a real thing when you get politicians involved, and she's a council member, so it's a legitimate thing. I mean, you could look. I could send you the link to that talks about Ellie helping out with that. So it's you know, it's definitely not something that's a fairy tale or a conspiracy. It's here, and my brother thinks I'm a nut, but he doesn't really care about this stuff as much. But I'm concerned because it's affecting everybody. You know, it's affecting the whole world, the whole country, and the world. And unless we stop it, it's definitely going to affect our health in the future. So it's pretty interesting to see, you know, all this stuff going on over here. But these are definitely not normal clouds. You know, when I was a kid, I've never seen clouds like that before. So it's disturbing, to say the least. And I really like to keep my trip here on a positive note. So I don't want to really be negative about anything, but I felt like it was just very important to share this. I know my friend Johnny is from the Jersey Shore, and he hasn't been back in a while, and he'll appreciate, you know, this. I think, you know, to know that it's not just happening in Maui; it's happening all over, as he knows. But you know, it's happening in your home turf. It's pretty disturbing. Yeah, and you can see okay, see that plane going right there? There's a straight line. Okay, so that one's going. I don't know if you can see it very good here. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see that one is spraying out chemtrails right now. And what they're doing is they're spraying with, you see that, if you can see the straight line. This video camera is not the best. I'm hoping to buy a better one. But you see that straight line going right there? And you can see the plane moving. So what they're doing is he's spraying the chemical trails. He or she, it's probably a he pilot, but they're spraying the chemical trails. And what happens, it looks like, you know, people just think it's a contrail, but you know, there's been a lot of research, and contrails do not stay in the air like that and dissipate slowly. And then when they begin to dissipate, they actually you know, form clouds like that. And the ones that you're looking at, you can see it actually dissipating out from the center line. So there's a fresh chemtrail right here, which I was hoping to get in action. And I mean, that's the only way that people could believe it, actually, if they see it being done, and then do the research on it and find out that it's not a hoax, or it's not a conspiracy theory, or a bunch of hippies just, you know, trying to make something up. I mean, this is definitely real, and it's very disturbing to myself. And Michael Murphy has dedicated his life to, you know, to investigating this and being outspoken about it and being an advocate. So it's, and you know, I just want to increase awareness about it because it's definitely going on. Now you see that one was sprayed just recently. You can see it's starting to dissipate. Okay, and then we got this plane. So you got, it looks like there's quite a few jets in the air, and they're crisscrossing patterns. You never see, you know, you don't see skies like that. When I was a kid, I didn't see skies like that. You saw the big blue sky, and you know, it's the big puffy clouds, but you don't see any of that today. These are mostly all chemtrails, I would imagine here. You know, these are just chemtrails. And like I said, it's just aluminum, barium, and strontium. And if you don't know about the ill effects of those entering our bodies, then you could do some research on it. The movie is very interesting too, and I could post a link if anybody's interested on the bottom of this video. But it's something that's real, and unfortunately it's affecting our health. And there's a lot of respiratory ailments right now, and people winding up with brain cancer, lung disease, who'd never smoked. So I mean, there's got to be a reason that's causing all this, and I doubt it's from pollution and secondhand smoke, things like that. I mean, that is a problem, but this is much more harmful. These chemicals are a lot worse than naturally occurring, pollution that we do ourselves. So it's just something I wanted to point out here. Other than that, it's a beautiful day at the Jersey Shore. But you can see they just kind of disappear off into the clouds, the chemical clouds. But actually, yeah, in Maui I saw one going straight up in the air, even more so than the one we were just watching before. But there's so many planes that are going back and forth right here in this general area, so it just doesn't seem like a normal flight pattern. I could be wrong. I don't know what the flight patterns are here, but to see that trail going behind the plane, and then the plane going up in the air in that direction, and it just seems a little bit odd to me. And then the dissipation, these trails dissipating like they are. So in the second, there's going to be a second movie. It's called Why in the World Are They Spraying? And it'll actually discuss, by Michael Murphy, and he'll discuss the reasons behind it. And he's done a lot of investigation, and he's working on it right now. So it's something that would be very interesting to see, the reason behind all this stuff. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of theories behind it, but I guess that movie will probably document some evidence that is important, and they actually had scientists and government officials doing research on it. So this stuff is, this stuff is sitting. Now you can see this plane starting to spray right here. See? Look at that. It's really criminal. It's it's an act against humanity, really. I mean, they're poisoning us with this chemical stuff, and people, the advocates, are not crazy. I mean, it's something that's been proven. I mean, why is there aluminum in a young girl growing up in Hilo, Maui, high traces of aluminum in her body, and she's never had any vaccines, or never been exposed to any factories or industrial waste? So there's got to be something causing that in her system and making her sick. So that was in the movie. What in the world are they spraying? And that really opened my eyes up, because she lived on an organic farm, was fed organically her whole life, and now she's and now she's becoming ill with these problems. And they did a hair sample and traced it to aluminum. Look at this. I mean, this is a perfect example. If you're still sticking with me after 13 minutes and 20 seconds, then you're in. If somebody could prove to me that this is not chemtrails, then I would be very happy. I'd be happy to be proven wrong. But unfortunately, that's not a regular plane, and that's not a flight pattern that planes take. I mean, they're going back and forth in the sky here. This place is just peppered with chemicals right now. It's really horrible. And if people don't believe it, I don't care. I just want to I want to increase awareness on this, and I feel like it's my obligation, since I'm aware of it now and I woke up, that I should be telling other people about it rather than keeping my mouth shut. So yeah, people do think it's weird, and people think we're crazy if we talk about it, but it's not some crazy far out conspiracy theory. I mean, do the research and it will back it up. Watch the movie, and I wish everything was perfect in the world and this stuff wasn't going on. And sometimes it's better to be naive, but if our health is being affected and we're winding up with all kinds of cancers, more than ever before, then what's causing it, right? I know diet has a lot to do with it, but there's also the GMOs, there's all this stuff they're spraying in the air. There's a lot of things that contribute to it, but I guess what they've decided is that what they're doing here with the chemtrails is a lot worse than anything else. The cane burning, according to this doctor on Maui. She said it's a lot worse, probably for your health, than the chemtrails short term, but the cane burning only occurs, occasionally, and the chemtrails are pretty much a daily activity. So, so Johnny, if you're watching this, I'm doing this for you, buddy. This is your home. This is the homeland. And
how's your investigation going, Chucky?
It's going good, Chris.
What is it again?
These are chemtrails. And okay, so basically, I've been watching these planes go back and forth. You see that line?
Yeah.
You see? Okay, basically what these planes are doing, they're spraying aluminum, barium, strontium over us, and it's making people very sick.
Why are they doing that?
They're doing it. Well, there's several reasons, but they want to control our food supply. Like Monsanto is big into doing this, and it's killing all the organic plants and stuff like that. There's people coming down with lung disease that have never smoked before. And there's a movie. I'll show you the movie. We can watch it sometime. But it's they did actually. Maui is under under spraying too. So it's not a crazy thing. They have scientists and stuff like that that actually did experiments. And this one girl who was she lived in Huelo, on an organic farm her whole life. She was sick, and they did a hair sample test on her, and her body is just extremely high in aluminum. And she had no vaccines. She ate organically her whole life. So they traced it back to this. The coconut trees are all dying, in that area, and they said that's never happened before. So and it's weather control too. They do a lot of stuff with the weather. It's actually
the last audiobook that I just listened to.
Yeah.
They talked about they did a study of the tofu in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it had high traces of aluminum in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
I bet it's from this. This is a true thing though. And I've been watching this all day, and you can see how they dissipate, Chris?
Yeah.
So you can tell it's not a regular contrail from a plane. So I guess my brother is buying into it now. So see that? I mean, he thought it was a total nut a little while ago, but now I explained it to him, and maybe he's a believer now. But I mean, this is I know my parents wouldn't believe this, and like I said, sometimes it's better not to believe it and to think people that talk about this are crazy. But I know I have many friends in Maui who think it's absolutely crazy, and that's okay. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own belief system and what they want to believe. But my job is just to let people know what I'm seeing, and you can believe it or not. I'm not going to force this on anyone, but apparently there's a lot of people getting sick. If you go to the emergency rooms, I mean, they're just full of people with respiratory ailments, and there's no explanation for it. So, and that's why Michael Murphy decided to make this documentary. So now we're at 17 minutes and 55 seconds, and I could just sit here all day with this thing, and I know it's very boring to watch, but a little commentary from my brother was interesting. He said the tofu in Hawaii actually has high traces of aluminum. So why is that? Well, it would make sense that it could be attributed to these chemical trails. Maybe there's other reasons for it. Why did over 60 seabirds die at Kanaha Pond on Maui? I mean, they say it's due to botulism, but I don't remember that ever happening before, and it could be botulism, but it sure seems like aluminum would be much easier, much easier way to kill a bunch of endangered seabirds than botulism. I mean, you'd think they would die first before from the aluminum than that, but it could just be a freak thing. But this is really concerning here. This is this is just crazy. And I'll talk to my family about it, but I know they're going to think I'm totally nuts. But and that's okay. I mean, I want to be somebody who gets the word out and tells people about it. Okay, so that's all I'm doing here. I'm having a great time at the Jersey Shore, loving life with the family, but this is something I definitely felt I needed to point out, and I'm glad that we actually saw that live chemtrail being sprayed. See? Now if that was a contrail, that would have disappeared already. And you see how it's dissipating slowly like that? I mean, this isn't a very good high-resolution camera, but you could see it starts to dissipate, and eventually it will look like that, see? And it just lingers, and then people just think it's clouds, but it's not really clouds. And why are all these planes flying back and forth here? Okay, see, this has got to be like maybe one or two planes, doing this, but they keep going back and forth, and they're not going anywhere. If they were going somewhere overseas, then they would be flying out, right, out away from us, west or east. I'm sorry, but they're just flying around in circles. So, like I said, if they're not filming a Delta Airlines commercial or something, then there's got to be a reason that they're, circling around like this. So, and I'd love to find out that it was just all a coincidence and this is a total joke and a conspiracy theory, but unfortunately it's not with the evidence that's been given. And these kind of things I don't remember as a kid. I mean, I remember clear blue skies, like I said, with big puffy clouds, like you see in a cartoon. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about these chemtrails and probably don't want to know. I think sometimes we're better off being ignorant than, being aware of things. In the long run, probably not, but as far as happiness is concerned, I don't know. Now this looks like a regular small plane. That's just a regular plane flying out. Just a propeller plane, I think. Sounds like a prop plane, but that one's not a sprayer. But usually they use jets, and they're disguised as passenger jets. They don't have people in them. They're not regular airlines. They're actually jets that are designed. And if you go to Facebook, you can find so much more out. If you go to what in the world are they spraying? They have their own Facebook page. There's so many links, but I'll be happy to post a link to to Michael Murphy's movie. So I mean, look at this. See that? That's not a regular cloud, and that's not a contrail. It's been like that for a good hour. And it's just dissipating. And what happens when it dissipates? The particles fall down, into our atmosphere. They're already in our atmosphere. They fall down onto us, and you can't see them. But I bet if I got a hair sample test, I live on Maui and they've been spraying, and they're spraying here. They're probably spraying almost everywhere that's fairly populated. And if you do a hair sample test, I'm sure that my aluminum levels are probably off the charts, just like that girl in Huelo, the young girl who was tested. So that's it. See, you can see the chemtrail here. Alright, it's beautiful. This beach is absolutely beautiful. I went swimming in the ocean, had a great time. People catching little fish, I guess they're bluefish. And the water's fairly comfortable, warm, with my cousin. And it's just beautiful here. And it's, if you don't look up in the sky, then everything's perfect. But if you look up in the sky and see this stuff, it's actually frightening that this is happening. And I don't want to get behind why they're doing it or who's doing it, but if you watch the movie, you can find out more. And if you want to discuss it more, let me know. And I could certainly put you in touch with some resources like Michael Murphy and Facebook page and many links. But there's a Maui Chemtrail Facebook page, and it's something that more people are discovering. So it's not something that's just created by a bunch of weirdos. I mean, this is something real. So that's it. You can see these chemicals here. I mean, that's not real clouds. I mean, those are just dissipating trails. I mean, originally they were like this, okay, and then they spread out to be like that, and then eventually they spread out to almost look like a puffy cloud. But it takes a while before it gets like that, so you can actually see. But these are definitely chemtrails, and I was surprised to see it. I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised, but I guess I'm still a little bit naive about the whole thing, and hoping it's not true. But I thought it was a joke when I went to my first seminar that Michael had a few years ago, and then when I finally watched the movie, I found it hard to believe. But I saw the proven evidence, and then I saw it happening myself over Kihei, Maui, when I was coming out of ooh, the flies are biting. Coming out of an open house, and saw the plane going almost directly up in the air with a big trail behind it. So it just didn't seem normal that the plane was going, almost straight up in the air and had this big trail spewing behind it and lingering for a while. So I took a video of that too. So anyway, it's 24 minutes. I think you've had enough of this. So if you're still here, thank you for sticking around. And we just need more people, I guess, to be aware of this and get the word out. If you want to share this video, feel free. It's just something that's dangerous, and it's affecting our health. And if you talk to doctors, I'm sure they'll tell you that there's been a lot of more respiratory problems in emergency rooms and conditions arising that didn't happen before. Brain cancer's astronomical now, and things like that. And I know aluminum's definitely not good for any part of your body, especially your brain. So Alzheimer's, definitely an increasing amount of Alzheimer's and things like that, memory loss. So the second movie will get into a lot more detail, I think, why in the world are they spraying, you know, about the effects of all this stuff and why they're doing it and the reasons behind it and maybe who's responsible.
Chadwick, you want to have some macaroni and meatballs?
Yeah.
Huh?